Hi, my name is Sean Mabry. I'm a writer, and today I'm going to talk about the fact that writing just sucks. I mean, it really sucks. If I had to make a list of the top 10 things I enjoy doing with my life, writing wouldn't be in the top 10. It'd probably be somewhere closer to the bottom 10, not in the bottom 10, but it's low on the list. It's extremely painful, and it's tedious, and it takes so long to get anything worthwhile out of it, compared to basically any other activity. I mean, I'm at the point now where even working a job and getting money that way is 1,000 times easier than actually writing, especially writing something that I intend to share with the world and get paid for. And to really give you a strong example of what I'm talking about here, last week I spent the bulk of what normally would have been my writing time working on my first step for a 12-step recovery program. I'm not going to talk about the addiction too much in detail here. I probably will someday on this channel because I'm just open like that. I don't really like to keep secrets. But suffice it to say, if you've ever gone through, I mean, all 12-step programs have the same basic structure, and step one is to literally just admit how fucked up you really are. It's to say, look, I'm broken beyond repair. I cannot do this on my own. I need this process, and I need a higher power to get me through this. That's step one. So writing that down, and not only writing it down, but sort of rehearsing it and dialing in and getting it just right, is an intensely painful process. And yet somehow I was able to do that. I effectively was doing that actually as a form of procrastinating on my writing. And the funny thing is that I have found that I mean, for the past 4 or 5 years now, I've consistently had some sort of big writing project, creative writing specifically, some sort of big writing project on my plate throughout. Despite the fact that I had a day job, despite the fact that I, have had at sometimes a relationship, at sometimes not, all these other things going on in my life, I always had a big writing project too. The last 3 times there was a novel. And I definitely did big writing projects before them, but this is the first time in my life I've just chained them together one after the other. And I find that because of that, I think specifically because of that, I mean, there are a lot of other things I've been doing to get more disciplined and just kind of up my performance as a person, but the fact that I always have a book in progress, and there's almost anything I would rather do, I'd rather work on than that, has fueled my productivity in every other area of my life to such a fantastic degree. It's because there's that thing that's so painful and so difficult and such a travail that, well, taking this first step in a long and very difficult recovery process still doesn't suck as much as that does. So I'll do that right now, because I can do that and justify my own existence and justify myself making progress without actually having to go and do the thing that's even more painful and more difficult. So really what I'm saying here is that just because writing is your purpose doesn't mean it's ever going to be easy. And I know I'm talking to a very, very tiny audience here. Most people, I don't know. I mean, that's the funny thing. I think writing is one of those things that because it's so difficult and because it's so demanding, you have to have that grain of purpose to keep doing it. Otherwise, if you're in it for the money, there's a 1,000 other ways to make money. Far more effective ways to make money. If you're in it to have people like you, terrible strategy, absolutely terrible. The more honestly you write and the more depth you put into your work, the more likely you actually are to anger people. Not everyone, because the people who actually get it will love you, like nothing else, but you're going to anger a lot more people. So being likable, not a good goal for a writer. I mean, heck, even fame, legacy, all that stuff. Again, there are far more efficient ways of getting there. Literally every ends that writing might be the means to has a more efficient, effective, less painful path. And so that's the thing I keep realizing throughout my own life, is that I don't write to get X, Y, or Z. I write because I'm supposed to write. And there are days where I wish I was supposed to do something else, but I have to write. And that's just it. And I'm here to tell you, look, if you're one of those people, if you understand what I'm saying right now, you do have to keep writing. Everything will fall apart if you don't. And if you really do it, and if you go through that Herculean process to write, you will have the most rewarding experiences of your life. I talked about one of them previously right here on this channel. Because when you do finally have that story come together that really works, and you can see the effect it has on someone else, when you see your story implant, and of course it's always comes through in a different form, but when you see it really implant in someone else's head, that's the most rewarding thing on this planet. For us, for writers, for people who are born with this particular purpose. And it sucks, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna take way longer than you think it will. Do it anyway. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it encouraging. I always like doing this kind of counterintuitive motivation because, frankly, I tend to respond to this kind of stuff too. I alternate between the super light and positive stuff and the just I'm gonna chew through this fucking brick wall approach to motivation. So that's the second one. We're doing the second one today because that's just where I'm at. And most of all, I just hope it helped you write and get something done today. So please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe as always. And I'll see you all again next week. Bye.